We are grading some of the top rookie defensive linemen. First up, we got to go with Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse and his running mate, Braden Fiske. AQ, what did you like out of this Florida State duo out there in L.A.?
They got something special cooking out in L.A. Honestly, these two guys are awesome. We loved them coming out in the draft. But again, you never know what it's going to look like translating, especially when you take two guys from the same college and put them on the same NFL team. Will it translate? Will it look the same? It does look the same. It might even look better at the NFL level than it does in college. Seriously. Because now we can go because you get a lead with Matthew Stafford, and now these guys can just get in their track stances and just run TEs and ETs and pass rush for a whole second half of a game. And you got to see it a couple times this year. And what I really like about Verse is you got to see it against Jordan Mailata, right? You saw it in the regular season when he shuffles down inside, turns a bull rush in, and puts Jordan Mailata, big 6'8", 375 pounds, on his ass. And then it's like, okay, was that a fluke? Let's watch this again in the playoffs. And he's talking his shit going into the week. He's talking his shit the entire game. They get 8 sacks or whatever it was against this vaunted Philly offensive line. Fiske got hurt a little bit in that game. When you talk about Verse, he's talking his shit. Every time he gets a sack, a hit or pressure, a big play on third down, he's like this, looking at the Philly offense, looking at the sidelines, talking his shit, running his mouth. They kept playing his interview up on the Jumbotron. He just kept, bring it, let's go. And I love that attitude about him. That is the attitude, the cockiness, the confidence that you need to succeed in the NFL. And obviously Braden Fiske, unbelievable year, unbelievable motor. That's the biggest thing you see with him. He never quits. He has a never say die attitude. He's constantly rushing, finishing, going to a second move, going to a third move. He's going to beat you with effort. He's going to do everything that your white defensive linemen do. Coach's son, right? You heard all the cliches. That is exactly what you got, except a damn good football player.
We like to quote guys like Fiske as try-hard white guys. There's nothing worse than a try-hard white guy. He never quits on a play. You think you have him done. He spins out. He gets his arm out there for a sack or gets in there on a play. What I will say, and you mentioned it as well, no one is running a better ET or TE right now than Fiske and Verse. Those guys are on the same level. They have playing next to each other for the year before in college really has shown off. And Fiske comes off of those games so tight. He wraps around. The one area that I think he could improve on is his finish at the quarterback. I don't think he's as nimble as obviously an Aaron Donald who was just there a year ago. He doesn't have that elite burst and that finish to go get the quarterbacks. Brock Purdy got out of a few this year. Kyler Murray made him look silly. Made him fall down one time. But I'm not asking Fiske to close all of these deals. I'm asking to keep that pressure, keep that relentlessness. And that's something that I think the LA Rams can hang their hat on. I mean, you have him, you have Kobe Turner, you have Byron Young. This young defensive line for the LA Rams really is something special. And Fiske, I know I'm making like a try-hard white guy comparison, but Kyle Williams from the Buffalo Bills, that's who I see when I turn on the film. He has no gloves on. He's getting after it. He has that relentless pursuit, and he's just a junkyard dog. Who's someone that Verse reminds you of that we played against throughout your career?
He's a little shorter in stature, so like he's a more talented Marcus Golden, in my opinion. And Marcus Golden in his heyday with Arizona was a 10-sack guy, right? That's what obviously got him paid. I think this guy's more explosive. I think he's got a little bit more quick twitch, quick burst. He's Marcus Golden on steroids, in my opinion, and I'll take that guy every day of the week.
And that's another guy in Philadelphia. He went against the Eagles. I like to compare him to Brandon Graham. He's talking the smack. He's backing it up. He's going to have a great career. He plays hard-nosed, and that's something where you can't coach it. You can't teach it. You lose Aaron Donald in L.A., and then you bring in Jared Verse plus Braden Fiske, and you have a complete player. I mean, overall, you have the pressures. You have the 12 and a half, 13 sacks combined. The one area that I would like Verse to get better in is disrupting the ball from the quarterback when he gets there. I think a lot of times he's getting there and he's getting the quarterback down. Don't get me wrong. That's something I would love to see him build on. Let's get the ball out. Let's get change of possession. Let's get the ball back to Matthew Stafford in the offense. And that's where I think he can take his game from just defensive rookie of the year to now we're going to talk about him as potentially a defensive player of the year candidate. And that is really the next step for these two. Give me your overall grade for each one of these guys.
I mean, these guys deserve to be A's. I mean, they were studs. I mean, like, I think when you're looking at A, B, C, D grade type things, like you're looking at like B is probably like a serviceable starter, right? I think these guys are much better than B. These guys are disruptive starters. They are trajectory stars, right? I think at the end of the day, when you look at these two, I think the entire LA Rams defensive line as a whole, including obviously these two, need to get better at playing the run. I think they are phenomenal whenever it gets into third and pass rush situations. And then, I think they gave up 270 yards rushing to the Eagles in the regular season. And they gave up another 200 plus in the playoffs. They have to get better at playing the run. If they can get good at playing the run and then letting it eat on the pass rush situations, it's one of the best D lines in football, period. Spice up your sports viewing experience with the Underdog app. Underdog is the best place to play. Pick 'em on all of your favorite sports. Just choose higher or lower on your favorite players' stats, and you can join the millions of fans who have won billions of dollars on Underdog. What are you waiting for? Sign up now using promo code POCKET. That's POCKET, and you can get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Download the Underdog app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com to get started today.